ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So Kashyapa Muni is describing here the symptoms of great devotee Prahlad. Savai Mahabhagavato Mahatma. That child in the womb, Prahlad Maharaj, he will be Mahabhagavata, the topmost devotee. So we all know that there are three categories of devotees: those in the neophyte state, those in the middle, and those on the topmost. Kanishtadikari, Madhyamadikari and Uttamadikari. So this Uttamadikari devotee is called as Mahabhagavata. Savai Mahabhagavato Mahatma, and his intelligence will be expanded. Mahatma, Duratma, these are two contrasting words. Duratma means one who is only, his intelligence is very constricted. One who has no broad intelligence, one whose intelligence is not expanded, he is called Duratma. Selfish, he only thinks about his sense gratification. Mahatma, on the other hand, is a devotee whose intelligence is broadly expanded. So expanded intelligence. Mahanubhavo means his influence will also be very great. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu describes that actually real symptom of a devotee is that just by seeing him, just by being in his presence, one can be influenced to take up to devotional service. That is a sign of actually devotees of the Lord, pure devotee of the Lord. That just by his influence, just by being in his presence, just by his association, one can take up to devotional service. So we see such great examples. In the earlier class, we heard about influence, great influence of Narad Muni, even on very, very sinful people like Mrigari, that just by being in presence of Narad Muni, such a great sinful personality like Mrigari, he became a great devotee, he became a Mahatma. So, Mahanubhavo, he will have a great influence, expanded influence. Mahatam Mahishtaha, among the great personalities, among the great personality, Mahishtaha, he will be one of the greatest of those personalities. So, he will be the greatest of the great souls. Then, Pravardha Bhaktaya, being matured in his devotional service. Pravardha means being matured, well matured by devotional service. He Anubhavita Asaye, he will always be situated in ecstatic devotional service of the Lord. Bhava means ecstasies. Anubhava means special kind of ecstasy. Anubhavite, being situated in Anubhava stage of ecstasy. Niveshaya Vaikuntham imam vihasyati. And while being on this earth, he will be in his mind always experiencing special ecstasies. And when he gives up this body, when he leaves this material world, he will enter into Vaikuntham. Niveshaya Vaikuntham imam. Imam means this material world. Vihasyati. When he quits this material world, then he will directly enter into Vaikuntha. So these are the symptoms of such a great devotee as Prahlad. So Prabhupada in the purport talks about some very important understanding about devotional service. Prabhupada says, devotional ecstasies of the Lord are of varieties, and specifically they are described here as 3 in number: Sthai Bhava, Anubhava and Mahabhava. Mahabhava is considered to be greatest of ecstasies. Just to give you a very simple understanding, in the beginning stages, ecstasies sometimes comes and sometimes ecstasies go away. That is just the beginning of ecstasies. When the ecstasies become constant, they are called Sthai Bhava. Sthai means permanent or constant. And when there are varieties on those ecstasies, above being permanent and constant, there are many varieties in those ecstasies. They are called Anubhava. And then, when one reaches the topmost ecstatic platform, being absorbed in complete love of Godhead, that is called Mahabhava. That is generally not attained practically by any living entity. That is attained by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he manifested symptoms of Srimati Radharani. So that can be experienced only by greatest personalities like Srimati Radharani or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the mood of Srimati Radharani. So that is called as Mahabhava. Prabhupada says here, Prabhupada describes, continual perfect love of Godhead is called Sthai Bhava. So when continuously a devotee feels ecstasies in devotional service, that is called Sthai Bhava. When it is performed in a particular type of transcendental relationship, it is called Anubhava. And then when there are varieties, it is performed in a particular way, it is called Anubhava. But the stage of Mahabhava is visible amongst the personal pleasure potential energies of the Lord. So that is possible, it is visible amongst the personal potencies of the Lord, like Srimati Radharani or gopis of the Lord. So Prahlad Maharaj, he is described to be in which ecstasy here? Anubhava. So he is continuously enjoying in a particular type of ecstasy, that is called as Anubhava. So Prabhupada is saying, it is understood that the grandson of Diti, namely Prahlad Maharaj, would constantly meditate on the Lord and reiterate his activities. So he was constantly meditating on the activities of the Lord, constantly enjoying the activities of the Lord. Because he would constantly remain in meditation, he would easily transfer himself to the spiritual world after quitting his material body. So anyone who is in bhava state, who is constantly absorbed in the Lord, after quitting up this world, automatically goes back to Godhead. So actually that means one who has reached the state of bhava, he goes back to Godhead, because he is continuously in meditation on the Supreme Lord. Actually, bhava is a seed of prema. Prema begins in the form of seed of bhava, fructifies. When the same bhava fructifies completely as a fruit, that is called as Krishna prema. And then Prabhupada is explaining that such meditation which Prahlad Maharaj was constantly absorbed in is made very simplified in this age of Kali by mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, just by chanting and hearing the holy name of the Lord. So the same Anubhava state which Prahlad Maharaj is experiencing, one can attain the same stage of Anubhava even in Kali Yuga, just by chanting and hearing the holy name of the Lord. And Prabhupada is saying this is specially recommended in this age of Kali. So in this age of Kali, by the grace of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, one can constantly be in ecstatic state of love of devotion, of love of Godhead, just by chanting the holy name. Actually, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, by chanting the holy name, one will be relieved from this material bondage and one will achieve Krishna prema. So both these things happen simultaneously by chanting the holy name of the Lord. How this is achieved is very nicely explained by Rupa Goswami. Rupa Goswami says, devotional service to the Lord is not some sentimental idea. Devotional service of the Lord is very scientific. It develops very scientifically. It is already there in the heart. Krishna prema is already there in every living entity's heart. By performance of devotional service, it develops gradually, very scientifically. So, Rupa Goswami explains, everything begins with sublime faith in the Lord. Adhau Shraddha. So when one has this seed of faith in his heart, and that is transplanted by the mercy of the Lord and by the mercy of spiritual master, when one is sincere in his search for the Supreme Lord. So when one is sincerely searching after the Supreme Lord, the Lord and the spiritual master implants the seed of devotional service in his heart. So that is actually the beginning of devotional service. So Adau Shraddha Tatha Sadhu Sangha. And then when one is having this faith, then he likes to associate with the devotees, Sadhu Sangha. The next stage is Sadhu Sangha. That Prabhupada explains that in Bhagavatam it is very clearly explained devotional service should be practiced amongst the devotees. It is not possible to practice devotional service in seclusion. It is not possible to practice devotional service in the midst of materialistic people. It is possible, satam prasangat mama virya samavido. It is said in Bhagavatam very clearly, it is in association of devotees that one can practice devotional service to the Lord. So when Shraddha is there, then when one associates with devotees, then he begins his devotional service. Bhajana Kriya. Then when one performs this, Bhajana Kriya actually means sadhana bhakti. So there Prabhupada explains, sadhana bhakti has to be performed not with the aim of material prosperity or liberation from this material world. These two are considered to be two which will bind the living entities in this material world, practically perpetually. Up to the point that even someone is routinely very properly performing his sadhana mechanically throughout his life. But if one has the seed of this material attachment or thinking of liberation from this material world, he will be bound in this world. He will not attain Krishna Prema. This is explained in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explains this. That even though Bhajana Kriya is the beginning of our sprouting of devotional seed, because anartha nivritti will happen. But if we want to maintain those anarthas, then there is no possibility. So this is very important to understand. One should be not wanting to hold on to anarthas, and the greatest of the two anarthas is fruitive activities and liberation from this world. These are considered to be the two of the greatest anarthas. Karmi and Jnani. These are the greatest of the anarthas. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explains, with these two desires in his heart, even lifelong, if one very submissively, very nicely, constantly, very religiously he is performing his sadhana, attending Mangalarati, chanting the holy name, attending Bhagavatam class, these are all sadhana bhakti. But he cannot get love of Godhead. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu cautions, we may be having contaminations in the heart, that is different thing. One should not be wanting to maintain these contaminations in the heart. Then when one performs devotional service, bhajana kriya, then anartha nivritti will happen, and then gradually our attachment to the Lord will be sprouted. So after bhajana kriya, tato anartha nivritti syat, and when anarthas are gone, tato nishtha, then the same faith becomes very matured faith. It becomes very strong faith. Ruchis tatha. Now what happens? The moment anarthas are gone, our taste for devotional service revives. The taste for material attachment is gone. The taste of devotional service revives. That is called as ruchi. Once our taste for devotional service revives and we take pleasure in performing devotional service. We take pleasure in chanting. We take pleasure in attending kirtan. We take pleasure in attending Bhagavatam class. We take pleasure in hearing about the Lord. Then attachment to the Lord starts. See, just like Prabhupada explains, when one takes pleasure in drinking, then attachment to drinking begins. Then what happens? He cannot live without drinking. Correct? That is called attachment. He becomes so attached to drinking, he cannot live without that. Similar thing happens in devotional service. Once anartha nivritti happens, nishtha, firm faith is there, his taste is revived, and then he takes pleasure in devotional service. Ruchi, that is called taste. So when one takes pleasure, then attachment. And once he becomes attached, that gradually fructifies into the seed of ecstasies. So then, asakti tato bhava tato prema vidhanchati sadhakanam ayam premana pradur bhave bhavet kramaha. Kramaha means one by one gradually this develops. So very nice, Prabhupada explains this. I'll just read the translation. In the beginning there must be faith. Then one becomes interested in associating with pure devotees. Thereafter one is initiated by the spiritual master and executes the regulative principles under his order. See, bhajana kriya means executes regulative principles under the order of spiritual master is called bhajana kriya. Thus one is freed from all unwanted habits and becomes firmly fixed in devotional service, nishtha. Thereafter one develops taste and attachment. This is the way of sadhana bhakti, the execution of devotional service according to regulative principles. So even up to actually attachment, it is all on the basis of sadhana bhakti. After this begins Raganuga Bhakti or spontaneous devotional service. Gradually, emotions intensify and finally there is awakening of love. This is the gradual development of love of Godhead for the devotee interested in Krishna consciousness. So actually you can see here how much once we become awakened, our taste has developed, attachment has developed, right? And then begins Raganuga Bhakti, that is ecstatic devotional service to the Lord. Rupa Goswami describes the symptom of ecstatic devotional service. How to identify that the devotee has attained Bhava Bhakti or Raganuga Bhakti. He describes there are many symptoms to understand that, because we are hearing here about Prahlad Maharaj having Anubhava, right? So, Bhava is divided into many stages. And the final fructification of Bhava is Prema. So, Bhava has many stages. So, the symptoms of Bhava, to understand that the devotee has achieved ecstatic devotional service, like these Goswamis were. So how to understand that? So Rupa Goswami explains, Shantir avyartha kalatvam viraktir manshunyata ashabandaha samutkantha namagane sadaruchi आसक्तिस्तद गुणा आख्याने प्रीतिस्तद वसति स्थले. These are the symptoms of devotee in bhava. What is that? What is the meaning of shantir? peacefulness. Shantir means forgiveness. So one is ready to forgive the offenses of others. That is called as Shantir. Avyartha kalatvam means not wasting time. Concerned that time should not be wasted. When one is always concerned whether my time is being wasted or not. Viraktir, detachment from anything material. Manashunyata, absence of false ego or false prestige. When one becomes freed from any kind of false prestige, I am Brahmana, I am very intelligent, I am great devotee, all these are all false prestige. So when one becomes free from all these things, Asha Bandhaha, great hope, he acquires a great hope in devotional service. Not that he becomes frustrated, so many years I have been chanting, nothing is coming. No, he becomes completely filled with hope. Asha Bandhaha, Samutkantha. What is Samutkantha? He becomes very eager to perform devotional service. Samutkantha, very, very eager. Eagerness. Namagane sada ruchihi. He always has a taste in chanting and dancing. Namagane sada ruchihi. Chanting, taste for chanting of the holy name of the Lord. Asaktis-tad gunakhyane. Asaktis-tad guna akhyane. Raghutam? Attachment to the descriptions of the transcendental qualities of the Lord. Hearing and even chanting, glorifying. He has attachment for that. Pritis tad vasati sthale, and he develops an attachment for residing in a place where the Lord has performed his pastimes, and affection for those places where the Lord resides, that is the temple or the holy places like Vrindavan. So these are all called anubhava. These are the symptoms of anubhava. These are all anubhava, signs of ecstatic emotions. They are visible in a person in whose heart the seed of love of God has begun to fructify. I'll just take another 5 minutes and then explain about how Rupa Goswami further explains how this anubhava, how this ecstatic devotions to the Lord further fructifies into prema. Very beautifully he explains. Prema krame badi haya sneha mana pranaya raga anuraga bhava mahabhava haya. You see how this attachment, sneha, affection to the Lord gradually becomes intense, 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 till it comes to the stage of Mahabhava. So very nicely explains. Love of Godhead increases and is manifested as affection. Sneha means affection. Mana. Mana means counter love. Then pranaya, love. Raga, attachment. Anuraga, sub-attachment. Bhava, ecstasy. And then Mahabhava, sublime ecstasy. Then Chaitanya Charitamrita explains how this is, how this development is compared. Bija, Ikshu, Rasa, Guda, Tabe, Khanda Sara, Sarkara, Shita, Michari, Shuddha Michari, Ara. So this development to Mahabhava is very nicely explained by Chaitanya Charitamrita, beginning with seed of sugarcane juice. Seed of sugarcane juice, then sugarcane plant, that is called bija. Bija is sugarcane's bija, seed. Ikshu means the plant of sugarcane. Rasa is sugarcane juice. Guda is actually liquid molasses. Khandasara, that is crude sugar, jaggery. Then Sharkara, sugar. Shita Mishri, sugar candy. Shuddha Mishri, rock candy. So just like this development is compared to sugarcane seed, sugarcane plant, sugarcane juice, molasses, crude sugar, refined sugar, and sugar candy and rock candy. So this is how gradually the emotions bhava fructifies into Mahabhava, which is called Krishna Prema. Then further it is explained, one should understand, just as the taste of sugar increases as it is gradually purified, when love of Godhead increases from Rati, which is compared to the beginning seed, its taste increases. You see, just like from sugarcane juice to molasses to refined sugar to sugar candy to rock candy, one after another, the more the sugar becomes purified, the more its taste increases. Similarly, the more one gradually becomes purified, the more our love of Godhead increases and becomes intensified like this. Then further it is explained, actually Sthai Bhava means permanent ecstasies. Sthai Bhava means these 5 kind of rasa one enjoys with Krishna. What are the 5 kind of rasas? Shanta, Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya, Madhurya. So when one is enjoying any of these 5 kind of ecstasies, they are called permanent ecstasies. Suppose Arjuna is in relation with the Lord, he is permanently enjoying that ecstasy of being in Sakhya Rasa with the Lord. Yashoda Mata is enjoying Vatsalya Rasa with the Lord. This is called Sthai Bhava. And then when there are varieties in this Sthai Bhava, sometimes there are anger, sometimes there is mana, sometimes, so these all these subordinate, there are varieties, that is called Anubhava. And then when there are many more sublime ecstasies, that is called as Mahabhava. So that is how it begins with Sthai Bhava, permanent ecstasies, and then when there are varieties in this permanent ecstasies, just like you can imagine, just like there is a ocean, and then in the ocean there are waves. Ocean is already, it's like an ocean, it is constant flow of water, and then in the constant flow there are many waves, isn't it? So Sthai Bhava, and then above the Sthai Bhava is Anubhava, many more sub ecstasies are there, and then when there are sublime ecstasies, that is called as Mahabhava. So all this is described as, just like from sugarcane seed, one gradually intensifies, purifies and goes to rock candy. So Mahabhava is like that rock candy, that is explained here. So, and very nicely further, last one more verse I will read out. How in the permanent ecstasies, these 5 permanent ecstasies, this mixture happens and it gives rise to further more ecstasies. So that is explained दधीयेन खंड मरीच कर्पूर मिलने रासलाख्य रसहया अपूर्व आस्वादने. Yogurt is already tasty. So yogurt can be compared something like that's Thai bhava. It's already tasty. So these Thai bhavas are these 5 kind of rasas one enjoys with the Lord: parental, or in friendship, or in conjugal love. So these are all 5 kinds of Thai bhava. That is compared to the yogurt. Now in the yogurt, when you add many other things, what all you can add, that is explained here. Yogurt mixed with khanda, yogurt mixed with sugar candy, very tasty. Then yogurt mixed with maricha, that is black pepper. You'll find sometimes especially in North India, you will find people eat dahi vada. In that dahi, vada is added and then black pepper mixture is added. So that tastes much more. So black pepper, then karpura, camphor. So yogurt mixed with sugar candy, black pepper and camphor is very palatable and tasty. Similarly, when permanent ecstasies mixes with other ecstatic symptoms, it becomes unprecedentedly tasty. So these are the kind of taste which Prahlad Maharaj, this Anubhava, which he is enjoying. So those symptoms are explained here about Prahlad and how this is possible even in this age of Kali by the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Prabhupada is saying, such meditation is still more conveniently performed by chanting and hearing the holy name of the Lord. This is specially recommended in this age of Kali. So you can just imagine that how much merciful the Lord is, that the ecstasies which Prahlad Maharaj is enjoying, the Anubhava which he is enjoying, the same Anubhava one can get in this Kali Yuga by the grace of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, if one seriously chants and hears the holy name of the Lord. So we stop with this. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.